Childhood memories are the threads of our soul. When you were 9 years old, what were the main things you would be interested in? Video games, drawing, sport, TV, skibbity toilet if you're of this generation. However, for this 9-year-old, he doesn't really have anything of interest. Who is this kid with a bloody owl? Well, that, my friend, is young Sandstorm Prime right there. Don't he look goofy as hell? After moving to 4 different towns, he doesn't really have any strong friendships, and it doesn't help that he doesn't have any interests or hobbies to talk to other kids his age. However, all that changes in the summer of 2010, thanks to... I had no interest in this sport, however. I've only been to 1 football match and I've only owned 2 football shirts. And then, my teacher made an announcement.
Everyone, pick a piece of paper out of this hat, and whatever country you get is the team you will be supporting for the tournament. With the winner getting a special prize.
Nice.
Once I picked out Uruguay, I went to an encyclopedia and went to the back of where all the world stuff is, just to have a look at all the flags and spot every nation that was taking part and trying to find the Uruguay flag. What are these strange rectangles, and why so many colours? Is probably what I was thinking as I started to draw each flag of every nation that took part, from the easy ones like England and Germany to much harder ones like Portugal, Paraguay. I'll draw them everywhere and anywhere. I'll cut pieces of paper up. I'll do it in my book. This kid, who before the tournament only knowing 3 countries, now knows all 32 that took part of that World Cup, and all thanks to that tournament. Now 14 years on, this 23-year-old knows all 195 countries. So let's begin with some island nations like Iceland, United... We interrupt this second as Callum is being heard. We shall return when he talks about something that's actually football related.
It's on here now, the goalkeeper's been, wins his 50th cap, has given South Africa a glorious moment.
That was it. I am hooked. However, even though I was learning all these different colours and flags and nations and how this tournament was working, I didn't watch my first game until the last match for England's tournament. England versus Slovenia in the group stage. And that game was extremely important to the English. England needed to win this game because if they drew or lost to Slovenia, then they would be kicked out of the tournament, and Slovenia and the US would progress to the round of 16. Although this was the final match, it was the first game that I remember watching and finally understanding why more people were interested in 22 men kicking a ball around on a green pitch for about 90 minutes. So, let me set the scene here. You got 9-year-old me grabbing an ice cream from an ice cream van that's outside the school. This is real. Back into the school sports hall, just to watch England versus Slovenia. During the match, Jermaine Defoe would go and score in the 23rd minute, and the hall blew up with excitement. And once that game finished, it was like a party in the sports hall. Everyone was celebrating, everyone was cheering. Thanks to that game, I finally understood what the point of this game is. It's not about people kicking a ball, it was about what was going on outside of the pitch. in the crowd. Everyone celebrating, cheering, booing. It started making sense to me. Me being a narcissist aside, what actually happened in the tournament? Well, England drawing against the United States, drawing against Algeria, and finally getting a win against Slovenia, giving them the chance to progress to round of 16, we got destroyed by the Germans 4-1. Now there was a ghost goal by Frank Lampard that went over the line, but it did not count. But, you know, I guess it just didn't come home. So the tournament itself was a low-scoring tournament filled with 1-0s, 1-1s and 0-0s. However, it didn't negate the fact that we had some high-scoring matches in this tournament, such as the aforementioned England 1, Germany 4, Argentina 4, South Korea 1, and Portugal 7, North Korea 0. One of the major talking points during this World Cup was Ghana. At the time, Ghana was a force to be reckoned with. They were close to being the first African team to get into the semi-finals of the World Cup finals. However, due to Uruguay and mainly Luis Suarez, Ghana scored and Luis Suarez saved it, so it was a red card to him and he had to take a penalty. Ghana missed that penalty and Luis Suarez started celebrating in the tunnel. Uruguay will go on and win that match to get into the semi-finals. Uruguay, I totally forgot about them. The team that made me interested in this tournament, thanks to that hat. Where did they place in the World Cup? They came 4th. What happened is Uruguay, they beat Ghana in the quarterfinals, got to the semis, and was knocked out. And then, in the first place playoff, they lost to Germany, and they came 4th. I think the prize I won at the time was a packet of Haribo. I don't know. And the prize itself for the person that won it was a small World Cup ball. The World Cup final in 2010. Let's talk about that before we go to the ball. So, where to begin? Well, this was Spain's first time ever making to the World Cup final. Now, they previously did win the Euros in 2008, so they've got some pedigree here. But the Dutch have also done bits. This is their 3rd World Cup final, with their previous appearances being in 1974 and 1978. So you'd expect the Dutch to have an understanding of what to do in this match. In the end, both the teams had extremely strong attacks, with one shot on target from Arjen Robben getting past Carlos Pirlo and Sergio Ramos, but just falling short to Casillas. The game stayed at 0-0 for 120 minutes before Andres Iniesta scored that final goal for Spain to win the 2010 World Cup in Johannesburg. Now, we can't talk about the 2010 World Cup without talking about the infamous ball, the Jabulani. A ball that was created with 8 panels firmly bonded, which, I mean, to be honest, in the end, when kicked hard, it goes weird. It turns left to go right. So, give me a ball and let's go test it out with some mates. What do you mean it's not the real ball? How much? Yeah, screw it, let's play anyway. If it wasn't for this tournament, I probably wouldn't have as much interest in the sport itself. And without that, I wouldn't have any interest in going all around this country to watch and experience different matches and at different stadiums. It may be a game where 22 people run around and roll around like they've been shot, but it's also a simple game that brings everyone together.
At long last.
We go to extra time here at Old Trafford.
Probably a combo.